My name is Ridhwan Sediqe.
My name is Ashley Rajavadee.
My name is Hyung Vo. I go by Kenny or Kenneth.
My name is Sokchea Som.
I identify as a Vietnamese American. I am Buddhist, a son of young parents, part of a family of refugees, and part of the LGBT community.
I identify as Cambodian American, Asian American.
I'm a first-generation Laotian American.
So my family is originally from Afghanistan. They moved here in the 1990s.
My family is from Laos.
My family is from Cambodia.
My family is originally from Vietnam.
They were refugees from Thailand before coming to America.
My parents came to America after the Khmer Rouge in the 70s, after the hardships from the Pol Pot regime.
We now live down in Dayton, Ohio.
We live in Northwest Ohio and Toledo, Ohio right now.
My family originally went to Houston. Recently, we've moved to Columbus, Ohio.
So the type of hardships that my parents experienced as they were growing up began in Cambodia. They started experiencing a revolution within Cambodia that was twisted in a way.
My family had come over here as refugees from the Vietnam War.
From that, there was a lot of loss, a lot of hardships. So coming to America, they didn't have any money and they didn't know a lick of English.
My parents came to America without knowing any English. They had to assimilate into a culture that they knew absolutely nothing about.
You know, Afghan Americans as a whole are a very small part of the population here in the United States. We make up just about 10,000 people.
The struggles my parents faced were definitely issues with their age. Having me at such a young age hindered her from having a life of her own, especially with family growing up in poverty. It was hard for my whole family to take care of me as well as take care of themselves at the same time.
So the struggles that I went through growing up with my Afghan identity really were focused on, one, with the experiences I had in trying to narrate who I was as an individual.
I've experienced hardships as a first-generation American of growing up in two different cultures, an American culture and an Asian culture.
Growing up as a Buddhist Asian American attending a white Catholic school, it was hard for me to be seen as the same.
Learning Cambodian and only speaking Cambodian, and then I had to transition into the American society.
You know, I think the most difficult thing about growing up in the post 9/11 era as an Afghan American is that I was also Muslim. So a lot of times that really caught a lot of people off guard, especially in the 6th grade when I started to realize how integral these identities were to who I was as an individual.
My parents spoke 3 different languages to me at home: English, Lao, and Thai. Growing up, I had to know when to switch between them. And at school, I only spoke English. Laotian and Thai families have lots of different jewelry that marks what kind of family they're from. When I was young, I used to wear a lot of gold jewelry that my grandparents passed down to me. Even though it was solid gold and it was really fancy and stuff, kids would wonder why I was wearing such strange looking jewelry.
I was ostracized for my difference in religion as well as the color of my skin. The boys in my grade whom I were friends with began to ostracize me from their group because they speculated that I was gay. Afraid of me trying to hit on them, they forced me out of their friend group and bullied me. I never had a sense of pride in myself or my identity. I conformed to seek acceptance from those around and degraded myself and who I was.
And I realized that I started losing my identity trying to assimilate to the white culture. So I started straightening my hair, wearing clothes that I didn't find comfortable, but only wore it because it was the trend back in the day. And I lost roots to my Khmer culture.
For me, to overcome something is when you no longer let someone or something have power over or leverage against you.
Overcome means accepting yourself and your identity for what it is and taking pride in it, despite so many signs telling you otherwise.
Overcome means to me being able to relinquish the stereotypes and the discrimination of being Asian or being Cambodian.
I was depressed and suicidal as a 12-year-old. However, I wanted to make something of myself and prove to people that I am strong enough and capable enough to change the trajectory of my life.
The struggle of overcoming this acceptance is definitely something that I felt my whole life until coming to college.
Coming to college was a big change for me. I came in thinking that I could go on without a connection to my heritage and ancestry, but that just wasn't the case. I still felt alienated in so many ways. But that's when I heard about the Asian American Association on our campus.
I still feel insecure about my body. I still feel as though I'm less of a person and feel judged. But I still have confidence in myself and continue to dream and work towards a body that I can feel comfortable in and confident in to overcome my past.
This year, I truly found my home in great friends and also became more comfortable with my Southeast Asian identity.
So I'm not just Khmer, or I'm not just an engineer or a sorority sister or Asian American, but I'm Cambodian American. I am who I am, and I don't need to define myself to anyone but me.
I started attending meetings and exploring initiatives hosted by the broader APITA diaspora on campus, and I started to find people that were encouraging me to understand my Asian American identity. Finding this space here on campus was the first step towards my liberation and being able to pave my own path while feeling connected to a larger space and community that was ready to support me. And it was in being able to embrace this myriad of ideas, passions, and confusion that existed within me that I truly started to discover what it meant to overcome.